this episode of Left Off the Map, I'm catching up with my little brother, Lee. Now, Lee lives in Melbourne, but he's taking the Spirit of Tasmania over here so that we can hang out in Tasmania. I'm gonna go meeting with my little boy, Jack, and his little boy, Harry, and we're gonna have a tour of our old hometown. Now, Lee and I have grown up fishing. It's something that we've never really been that good at. So today, we're gonna go and try and catch a fish together for the first time ever. And in preparation for that, I'm going to show you a great little fish recipe. Now, this technique, which we'll look at today, can be used in many, many different ways for many, many different flavours and many, many different techniques. I'm going to show you how to do it in the oven now, and then we'll show you how to do it in the fry pan later. Firstly, the thing you need to do is get 2 pieces of baking paper and 2 pieces of foil. Now, having foil and baking paper is really, really important. The baking paper will mean that not everything is going to stick together, and the foil allows you to seal things up because it's pliable. So take 1 piece of foil and line that 1 piece of foil with 1 piece of baking paper. Get a piece of salmon or ocean trout, as I'm using, seeing as though we are going to be trying to catch trout later today. I'm going to make 1 piece, but you can make as many as you like. So take 1 piece of your ocean trout, pop it in the middle of your baking paper, and then I'm going to build flavours on top of that. I've got my oven ready. It's set at 185, heating up. I need some smoked paprika. Spoon that on top. About probably between 1/2 and 1 teaspoon. A good pinch of salt. Some chili flakes, a pinch of chili flakes. Depending on how much you like chili, of course. Some olives. Now you can chop these in half, which is actually what I'm going to do. You can get stuffed olives if you want to. You can get olives with the stuff with sun-dried tomatoes or pimento. That would be really nice. It's about 1/4 cup of green olives. You could use black as well. Like I said, if you can get hold of the stuffed sun-dried tomato olives, they, I think, would be best for this recipe. Okay. Some lemon juice. I'm going to use the juice of this whole lemon because I need a lot of moisture in here to try and create a steam component to the dish, or a steam bag basically is what we're trying to create. So you need lots of moisture, and a lot of that moisture is going to come out of the fish, but we need to help it along with a nice amount of lemon. So the juice of 1 lemon, and then I've got a mixture of coriander and parsley. I'm going to put 1/2 of it in now and leave the other 1/2 to be fresh to go on top. 1/2 of that in. So the technique we're going to use today is the oven. So you want to seal this up, put your other piece of baking paper on top, seal up the edges, like so. I've got a small oven tray, and all we're trying to do is create heat. Enough heat. You need to be over 100 degrees, enough heat that we're going to create steam inside the bag. Pop that off my oven tray and into the oven. Now you can do this with a whole side of ocean trout if you wanted to. You could do it with 1/2 a side of an ocean trout, a barrel, the belly, 3 pieces, 4 pieces. It's completely up to you. Remembering that if you're going to do it with a big piece, it's going to take a little bit longer. A small portion this size, and if you're going to put a second portion in, make sure they're apart so they're not touching, because it's going to take longer for that heat to get into the middle of the fish. A small portion this size in the oven is going to take about 12 minutes. So we'll come back and check on that in about 10 to 12 minutes time. That's been about 8 to 10 minutes, so we'll check now and see how we're going. You'll find out, we'll look later, that when you cook it in the pan, it's going to go a lot faster because you've got that severe heat coming from the bottom than we do when we cook it in the oven. So I'll just check this. and make sure it's cooked. Yep, that's done. All right. You can see that steam that escapes. That's the steam that's been cooking our fish. It's a nice, gentle way of cooking. All right, so my fresh herbs on top. A little bit of oil. Another pinch of salt. And that's our Spanish, so it's a Spanish version, I guess, of a parcel, cooked in the oven. Later, we're going to look at cooking the same sort of thing with a different flavour component in the fry pan. But now we'll go and see if Lee and I can break our curse of not being able to catch a fish. Our first stop today is Taylor's Dam, a spot my son Jack has been pretty successful at catching fish with his grandfather, but I'm still yet to have any luck. All right, mate, let's see if we can actually catch a fish, whether it was us that was the bad luck or Dad.
What do you reckon? Hopefully with a chance.
Hopefully Dad was the bad luck. Do you want to set up? Yep. I'll go and talk to Peter, because Jack comes here, well, quite regularly.
Yep.
And has caught fish here, but it's never when I'm here.
All right.
So it might be
hopefully it's our lucky day.
So I'll leave you guys here.
Cool.
You'll get set up. I'm going to go see Peter, okay? All right.
Can you spot any fish?
Hey, Ben, how are you, mate?
Good, mate, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How's things?
Good, good. Thanks for letting us come out and have a bit of a fish. I have a terrible record of fishing with my brother. So hopefully I can fix that today.
Well, I hope you can, mate. Yeah, sure can.
We've seen fish jumping from the moment we got here, so I'm feeling confident that we might actually catch something. I mean, Jack and Charlie, my two kids, come here all the time with Pop.
Yeah.
And Jack and Charlie have caught fish here, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done well.
Yeah.
So
and it's set up for that, isn't it? It's for young anglers to come in.
For junior anglers, yeah. That's what we specialise in, just for junior angling.
Yeah. And does it run all through the year?
Yes, from September right through to April.
Wow. So what's in here? The trout?
Rainbow trout, and there is some brown.
Yep.
They're hard to come by.
All right, I'm going to go get into it and see if I can catch something. Thanks for letting us come by.
That's no worries.
We'll see you next time the kids come.
Righto, Ben. Thanks very much.
Remember growing up doing this with Dad?
Yeah. We never used to catch any fish then either.
Nah, never. You'd sit here forever. His line was always, well, it's called fishing, not catching.
Yeah, true, true.
And the first time I ever caught a fish, were you there? When, I think it was Belinda. He actually went and bought a fish. It was gutted and put it on my hook and threw it out, and then called me over and said, I think you got something. I wound it in, and it was a fully gutted fish. And I thought it was the first fish.
But regardless if you catch one, Benny, it's still nice just hanging out, I think.
It is, and I think that's why Dad's got a book at home. I think of all these fishing adventures that he's gone on with his mates where they haven't caught fish. And the title it's called Fishing, Not Catching. So the idea is to actually go fishing, not to catch anything. Otherwise it'd be called catching. So it makes sense.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
All right, shall we wind the rods in and see if we magically caught something while we were talking?
Something might be on there, Jack.
Yeah?
There's been a few splashes.
All right, so me and Jack will go and wind that one in. And Lee and Harry can see if they can wind this one in.
All right, let's do it. How'd you go, Benny?
We got nothing.
Same.
We got bait. Well, my run of rotten luck fishing with my brother continues. The good news is that I have a restaurant just down the road in Devonport, and we can at least get a feed there. The restaurant is named after my two kids, Charlotte and Jack, and can be found right in the centre of Devonport. This is charred vegetables. We've got a hibachi grill, which is like a Japanese charcoal barbecue grill.
Yep.
And anything that we seem to cook over charcoal tastes better. So this is a mixture of seasonal vegetables. So the last dish that Luke's prepared for us is our glazed pork.
Yep.
So we get our pork again locally through Scottsdale Pork. It's been pressed for a day salted for that, brined and then salted, roasted and pressed. And then we make a glaze, sort of a semi-soy ginger garlic glaze. And then it's just popped back in the oven, glazed while it gets cooked. Sometimes we do it on the hibachi grill and sometimes we do it on the oven, depending what kind of flavour we're after. Then it's, our take on every menu's got to have a pork belly dish on it. And this is our take on that.
I love pork belly, and I always think if it's not crispy enough, then it's a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
So if it's got that crisp factor,
For me, the things with pork belly is, one, you don't want too much fat.
Yeah.
It needs to be very lean. So not big blubbers of fat in it. And the skin needs to be crisp and it needs to be well cooked.
It is.
You can have that.
Do you like anything else, Harry? You've done a pretty good job.
Done, and we're going to head off to the pedal buggy, so you need your energy.
Yeah, that's going to be heaps of fun, Jack. What do you reckon?
What people fun?
The buggies that you get on, you pedal really fast and they go round. So we can race Uncle Lee.
Who's going to win?
I think I am.
Let's see.
I know. Dallas?
G'day, Ben. How you going?
I'm slightly embarrassed that I've never been here. Not many things in Tassie I don't know about.
Right.
But
well,
this is it. So this is going to be fun for me. It's something new, which I very rarely get to do in Tasmania.
This is your hidden treasure you've discovered today.
And how do you get into a pedal?
Oh, I
cart
just,
business?
well, it was just boredom. I wanted something to do with my time. I wanted to make something that went on the beach, but thought I haven't got time to do this. So I started searching around. Not long after I bought a computer, and I started doing my surfing, and I found this, and within about 3 weeks I was a registered business and had them on the way and ready to operate that summer.
Cool. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun.
We'll go and see what happens.
All right. This is a fantastic recipe because there's really no cleanup at the end of it. I'm going to show you a way that you can cook a piece of salmon, have it all contained in a bag. You can pretty much get away with not even having to wash up any plates at the end of this dish. So get your portion of salmon. We'll do one, but you can do as many as you want. You can have these pre-stored in the fridge. So if you made up 6 of these, you can have them sitting in the fridge ready to go. And as you want them, you can put them into the oven or onto the fry pan. You'll need 2 pieces of baking paper and 2 pieces of foil per portion. So I'm doing 1 portion, so I've got 2 of each. Foil down first, then your baking paper. Place your piece of salmon on top, skin side down. So the skin actually helps. It's going to protect us from the fierce heat that we're going to put it on when we put it in the fry pan. And that, we're trying to create steam inside the parcel to steam the fish. A little bit of salt on top of your fish. And then we've got all of these wonderful sort of Thai curry ingredients. Some spring onions, chop them up. Our spring onion. Chili. Leave the seeds in, it is a curry after all. Half a chili. That on top, all around your piece of fish. Juice of a lime. You can put lime zest as well if you wanted to. I want the juice of a whole lime because I'm trying to create the steam. The coconut milk's going to help with that, but also the juice of this lime, the acidity of this lime is going to help with the coconut milk and not making it too cloying. Some chili sauce. So you can use a sweet chili sauce or a hot chili sauce. I like it hot, so I've gone for a hot chili sauce. You can use a red onion or a purple shallot, whatever you can get your hands on. Red onions are normally a lot easier to get hold of, and they're fairly similar anyway. I think a purple shallot's got a slightly more delicate flavour than a red onion, but for what we want, we're going to get the same result. Probably only need about a quarter. A quarter of a red onion. Pop that on top. And you can see we're developing a really, really, really nice parcel of food. A little bit of coconut cream. This will make our sauce. So everything is going to be contained in this little parcel, the whole dish, the sauce, the curry sauce, the fish, all the vegetables. You can put more vegetables in there if you wanted to. You can put broccolini, some carrot, some julienne carrot. Pop your other piece of baking paper and foil over the top, and then you want to seal it up. So fold it over so you get a nice tight seal. You don't want the steam to be able to escape, because we're going to use the steam to cook our piece of fish. And also, we don't want any of that sauce to escape. All right, so make sure you've got a nice tight seal. So sealed in there now, we've got this beautiful salmon curry. That can just sit in your fridge. So you can do 6 of those at one time, have them sitting in your fridge ready to go, even if you and your partner at home. There's 3 meals all set to go. If you've got a family of 6, you've got 6 meals all set to go. One thing I will say, if you are going to put them in the fridge, take them out a little bit before you cook them. You don't want to be cooking these from dead cold, because it's just going to take so much longer and you'll overcook all the vegetables. They won't be crisp and vibrant by the time you cook the salmon through. Now you can put them straight into the oven like this. Set an oven at 180 and just pop them into the oven, or you can put them on a barbecue or a fry pan, like I'm going to do, because all we're trying to do is create heat. So if I put my pan there, if I sit this on top, just push it in, that pan's got that heat coming from the bottom. The skin of the salmon is going to protect the fish, but that heat coming from the bottom is going to create steam inside this parcel. This will all puff up, and that steam circulating around inside that parcel is going to cook our vegetables gently and cook our fish gently. So a piece of salmon that big with everything in there is going to take between 6 and 8 minutes to cook. So we'll come back and check on that in about 6 to 8 minutes. So I'm just going to check it now. Take that out. Turn that off. The other really good thing about this is, as you would have seen, this isn't a huge amount of steam coming out of there. So what it means is all the flavour stays in the parcel. So you're not losing. Every time I used to go to my grandmother's place, and as soon as I walked in the front door, I could smell what she was cooking, if she was making pumpkin soup or something. And if you think about it, pumpkin soup, let's say pumpkin soup has 100 units of flavour. If you're smelling pumpkin soup in the air, that means some of that flavour has escaped into the atmosphere. You can't smell anything in here. You can't smell the fish or the coconut or the sauce itself, because all the flavour is staying in the food, which is what we want. We don't want to be able to go in, walk into a house and smell what it is that's being cooked. Even though it makes for a lovely homely feeling, it means we're losing flavour out of the dish. All right, that's done. So then you can just pop it onto a plate, so you're not a savage. Peel back your foil, and there is your little salmon curry. Put a little bit of rice on there if you want to, or you can eat it just like that. Some fresh coriander on top, and you've got a really, really simple, really yummy, really clean really lazy salmon curry. So if we caught some fish today while we were fishing, this is probably what I would have done with it, but we didn't. So I went and got some from Huon instead.